There we go. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. Good morning to everyone who's tuned in on our live broadcast around the country. My name is Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint. I'm going to be spending the next 50 or so minutes with you. We're going to go through what our business is all about, who we are, what the opportunity is all about, and after the presentation, you're welcome to come speak to me, ask me any questions that you might have. All right? So let's begin. As you can see, DuePoint is a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. We were founded in 1952. We've been around for nearly 70 years. So that's Constantia's building in the background. They're just down the road from us here in Randburg. That's the branding that they use. The FSP number that they use is that one over there. That's very important. That's our license to operate in financial services. So if you go back outside and you notice above the water cooler, we've got all these certificates framed up on the wall. Those are our Financial Services Board licenses. So we've got a long and short-term insurance license, we've got our investment license, and we've got our financial services provider license on display for everyone to go look at and scrutinize. Credibility is extremely important. We take it very seriously. With all the amount of scams around South Africa, I imagine that people need to trust the business that we are proposing, and so go take a look at those. We've also got our association with the Direct Marketing and the Direct Selling Association certificates. Those are also up on display. The executives and the managers in our business at DuePoint are these individuals up on screen, starting with the first three over here, the boring ones. These are our registered chartered accountants. Starting with Mr. Brendan Benfield. He's our senior executive. He heads up this division, and he's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance, because his father is a professor of insurance. His father founded Clientele Life, started the IFA. They have started businesses locally as well as in Europe. They've helped found businesses in Australia. As a family, they've been extremely successful in the financial services space. Brendan and his brother Stuart, they followed in their father's footsteps, and together they went on to found a business down the road called Prime Meridian Direct, or PMD. We all know PMD because they do a lot of advertising on a daily basis, and I think they're the fourth biggest short-term insurer in the country already in less than 10 years. So we've got some amazing financial pedigree in Brendan. Tim and Stacey, they look after our financial, the auditing, the regulatory requirements in our business. Tim is very experienced in corporate banking. He was with the First Rand Group in a very senior position there for 15 years. Stacey has worked in auditing since she graduated. She worked with Deloitte here as well as overseas. And then the two non-accountants, Jane and myself. So you can see the accountants are ignoring us. Can you see that in the photo? They're talking about numbers. We don't know what's going on. So Jane and myself, we're the non-accountants in the business. Jane is very experienced in network marketing or referral marketing. She's done it for a very long time. She's actually from the UK. So she's been in South Africa for almost 10 years now, I think. But she brings very important experience to our team, because even though we're an insurance company, our growth is dependent on our ability to work in the network marketing space. And Jane brings that experience to our team. And then myself, I've been working in advertising for over 20 years. I ran my own digital agency for about 15 years. We operated also largely in the financial services market, so we serviced a lot of the very big banks in the country. But that's a little bit of background on us and the business. You're welcome to go look onto our website. There's a little more information on us. The company Constantia is owned by another group called Conduit Capital, which is listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange. So I hope that, again, allays any fear that you might have had thinking that we are fly-by-night business, which we certainly aren't. All right, very briefly, we're just going to discuss the context of our circumstance that we find ourselves in. You can see it's a fairly negative slide because it starts with that horrible four-letter word that you see up on the screen. But I imagine that everyone here today is looking for something extra because your salaries aren't doing enough for you. That's the common story for almost every South African in our country, right? We have come to the realization that our salaries aren't doing enough. The problem is actually exacerbated because of the economy. We've got inflation, which is the rise in cost of living, which is accelerating beyond what our salaries are increasing by. So you can ask yourself the question, has my salary increased by 5, 6, 7% every single year for the last 8 years? And majority of us can say, no, not even close, right? And so groceries seem to be more expensive because they are in comparison to our salaries. And we have this growing gap between what our salaries are and the cost of living. And that's why we find ourselves here this morning, because we need something extra. We don't want to depend on our salaries anymore. Unfortunately, because of the circumstance we find ourselves in, South Africans have gotten into this debt cycle. You find yourself in debt and you can't get out of debt for the majority of South Africans. And it comes to a head when you get to retirement, because when you get to retirement, you're going to have to ask yourself the question, what have I done in the last 45 years to save enough to put an investment down in place so that I can have a dignified retirement? But for the majority of South Africans, I think the statistic is 90% of South Africans will get to retirement and have to survive on half their income. 97% of South Africans get to retirement deemed to be financially dependent. Do you know what that means? That means you've got to depend on other people to get by every month. That's 97% of our population. I don't want that for people in this business. This business is about setting ourselves apart from what's happening to the majority of South Africans. That is the opportunity. Out of all of this negativity, Constantia saw the opportunity to create this division called DuePoint. We launched the DuePoint system a little more than 2 years ago. And we've got aspirations in mind for the people in this business. Beyond just putting extra money in your back pocket, we actually want you to start thinking about creating wealth. And when you think about creating wealth, you actually have to think differently. You've got to think differently to what I call the way consumers think. And so we've got a couple of aspirations. Our first aspiration is for people in this business, when you start creating additional income, is to use it to get rid of your debt as quickly as possible. Right? Now you might be thinking, well, why do I need to get rid of my debt faster than what I'm paying it off now? Because if you want to be wealthy, if you want to start creating wealth, can you owe other people money? No. So we have to aspire to getting rid of our debt completely. And then we start focusing on creating wealth. We create wealth through the ownership of assets and investments that appreciate, hopefully, and ultimately it leads to our third aspiration. And the third aspiration in this business is for everybody to be happy. Right? If you come to a Monday presentation, you'll see how depressed everybody is. Right? But Saturday, you all seem a little happier on a Saturday. The weather's pretty good today. Ultimately, we want to be happier. I don't want to be stressed at the end of the month when I get 20 SMSs from the bank saying these are your debit orders for the month. Right? I don't want to be stressed at the end of the year when I have to think about traveling, visiting family, kids' Christmas. Then January, kids' school fees. Who loves January for kids' school fees? Right? Have you seen on that form when you go back to school for your kids, there's a checkbox right at the bottom that says pay whole year in advance. Have you seen that option on the form? Who gets to tick that box? I want to tick that box. I want you to tick that box. Because if you're debt free, you're going to tick that box and say, I'll pay 1 year in advance. That's what about having a stress-free life is all about. No financial stress. So that's ultimately what we have in terms of aspirations for the people in our business. You can align yourself with those aspirations or you don't have to. It's completely up to you. But that's what we have in mind for people in this business. We want people to start thinking differently about creating wealth. So how does this business work? Our guests here this morning, you have the opportunity to join DuePoint. And once you join us, you enter into a contract with us. We refer to you as wealth engineers, right? A very suitable terminology, wealth engineers, because that's what we're doing. We're trying to engineer our wealth. And you have a single task as a wealth engineer, and that is to go out and build what we call channels of distribution. And I'll show you what a channel of distribution looks like shortly. But basically, all you're going to be doing is you're going to be introducing other people to DuePoint. That's all wealth engineers do. All you do is you connect other people to this financial opportunity. And if you're successful in that process, our online platform will facilitate the sale of products to people that you introduce to us. That's how this entire business works. As simple as that, explained in 2 sentences. Oh, your guest is waiting for you outside. As simple as that, folks. That's what the business is all about. When you are successful in that process, you get to create an additional income stream for yourself. But the nature of the income is very important. We call it recurring income. So if you follow entrepreneurial circles and people talk about creating wealth, some people refer to it as passive income. Have you heard of passive income? Passive income is recurring income. My father has a wonderful description of creating passive income, which he tried to explain to me when I was very young, which I remembered when I started giving this presentation. He said it's the ability to make money while you're sleeping. I didn't know that was possible. It even took me 10 years running my own business to actually understand what... I'm right here. I'm live. I'm live. You don't have to watch the live stream. Feel me. Feel me. Touch me. I'm here. Right? So my father referred to it as the ability to make money while you are sleeping. Now, I didn't understand what he was talking about until much later on when I was running this business for 10 years, and this business that I ran was unable to create passive income. My father's a gold miner, so he was in the same position as me. If you wanted to make money in an agency or in gold mining, you had to do work, right? You could only make money if you were pulling gold out of the ground. When you create recurring income, you can do work in April that pays you in May, in June, in July, right? That is recurring income. That's what we call passive income. If you owned a second house and you rented that second house out, that rental income is also deemed passive income. You don't have to buy the house every month. You don't have to build the house every month. That is passive income. In this business, you get to create recurring income. It is something that is inherent to insurance companies, right? It's a wonderful benefit to share in. We have the power of duplication. We have built the system, the framework in this business to have leverage in mind. What is that? That is the ability to bring other people into your business to collaborate with you. And if you collaborate successfully with more than one person, you have leverage, and that leverage in turn increases your recurring income. It's like being a sales director. Would you prefer to be the sales director in your business, or would you prefer to be the salesperson? The director, of course. The director is earning a little bit of commission off of every single salesperson that works for him. But the salesperson is only earning commission off of his effort. So in this business, it's similar. You get to bring other effective, resourceful people that will thrive in this business to help collaborate with you, and you will earn way more money than just based on your effort, right? So leverage is very important. Flexi time, you get to choose how this business fits into your life. This can be seen as a good or a bad thing, right? I wish I could force people to do this business, but I can't. This is a volunteer business. You have to keep yourself accountable to when you do this business, if you want to be successful. But you get to choose what that looks like. The amount of money that we've spent investing in technology means that you can do this business at any time of the day, in any town in South Africa. You can build your business regardless of what time of the day it is or where you are. The camera that you see in the corner there is doing a live broadcast to the entire country at the moment. You guys are just the live studio audience. I need someone here that needs one of those signboards that says clap, laugh, right? So you're the live studio audience. Flexi time, no startup capital. We don't have registration fees. We don't ask you to spend thousands on a starter kit or to buy boxes of product. We have made this business as risk-free as possible so that it becomes accessible to the average South African. We don't want anyone to lose money in this business. At the same time, we don't care about qualifications or experience. Again, it becomes accessible to everybody. I don't care if you've got matric or you don't, whether you've got a work experience or you don't, whether you've got a degree or you don't. It doesn't matter to me. I've seen people be successful in this business regardless of their experience or qualifications. It's notable too because we work in financial services. If anyone's worked in financial services, you'll know it's probably the most onerous, painful, regulatory framework that we have to abide by. You can't do anything in financial services without the regulator looking at every single second of your business, right? You guys don't have to worry about that. You can share in the benefits of financial services without the worry of all that regulation. You get to build an asset. Now, this is probably the most important benefit on the slide, because I'm going to be proposing to you this morning that you must sacrifice your spare time, your relaxing time, your watching sport time, whatever you do when you've got time off from work. I'm going to propose to you, I need that time for you to build your business at DuePoint. But you should be happy to do that, because what you're doing is you're building an asset that you have ownership over. This channel of distribution, you have legal tender over it. It is in your name. It is an asset registered to you. So what does that mean? Why is that important? Because this business won't stop paying you once you retire. Your employer is going to stop paying you when you retire. You can do this business into your 60s, into your 70s, into your 80s. If it's creating recurring income, you're going to have income coming in every month. This business will keep paying out even once you die. Who would like to pass wealth onto their kids and onto their grandchildren? All right? Okay, 10 of you. The rest of you are going, I've got so much debt, it's not going to happen. Majority of South Africans actually pass debt onto their kids. Do you know that? Assets, whether it's debt or whether you've got investments or whatever assets you own, that gets passed on to the next generation. You owe money to the bank and you die, the bank starts phoning your children for the money. right? It doesn't just disappear. And so for wealth engineers, I want you to build an asset that has this recurring income, that has intrinsic value. You can sell your channel of distribution one day. We've had sales of channels this year already, right? For various reasons. You know that you've got this asset that you have ownership over, that you're building up every single month that has value. There's no selling involved in our business. So this might confuse people because you're thinking, what are we doing here? What are we selling? When I say we're not selling anything, I'm talking about our product. You do not sell our products. We've got 3 financial products. You don't have to sell any of them. You don't have to talk about them. What we're going to be doing in this business is selling the business opportunity. You are going to be talking about a financial opportunity. You are going to be connecting people who are interested in making more. And I reckon 99% of South Africans need to make more. Right? So we've got a massive target market. That's all we're going to be doing. You're going to connect people to this opportunity just like you were connected. And they will end up watching the live stream or coming to head office or watching the presentation on a USB stick. And I will do all the work. I will talk about the business, who we are, what the opportunity is about, and I will talk about the products. Right? That's all we're going to be doing in the business. The nature of our products, though, are also convenient. Because they're financial in nature, they're not tangible. Like I said, we don't have boxes of product that you have to buy. On Thursday night, one of the gentlemen arrived in a bakkie. He thought he was going home with boxes of product. Right? He said, I came with a bakkie, there's no product. That's a great thing. Who wants to travel around with boxes in the boot, having to find space at home to store it, and then you find out a month later when you were a little lazy that it's all expired? Right? That's not a great prospect, so we make the product as convenient as possible. We don't have the stock and distribution issues. But your success in our business is dependent on your ability to build a channel of distribution. Remember, I said that's our primary task here. Our focus is on building this channel of distribution. It begins with you. You become a wealth engineer. You take out one of our products, and now you are tasked with connecting other people to DuePoint. If you're successful in that process, and you get 5 people in this example to join your channel of distribution, now your channel is going to take on a life of its own. Because the people that you've connected to, they became wealth engineers, they took out one of our products, they are going to go out and do exactly the same thing you've done. And they, in turn, start building their own channels of distribution, in turn building your channel of distribution, and in turn increasing your recurring income. This is what we call power of duplication. This is leverage. I will show you real-world examples of wealth engineers in our business, what leverage looks like in their channels. How many people they've brought into the business and what it's resulted in, the size of their channels that it's resulted in. My hope for you is that you will build a sustainable channel. A sustainable channel is one that you don't have to nurse and worry about every single month. If you bring in quality people that you can depend on at the beginning, that behavior will filter into the rest of your channel. And my hope is that one day, perhaps in 5 years' time, you'll be in a position where you're being paid recurring income and you don't have to be watching your business every single day. It'll just carry on growing on its own. Because when that happens, you're no longer dependent on traditional employment. Who would like to tell their bosses what they really think about them? Right? Do you have the luxury to tell your boss what you really think about them? You don't, right? Because there are 10 million people behind you going, get out the way, we'll take your job. We don't have that luxury, right? My hope is that you'll get there one day. Who would like to take a 3-month holiday every now and again? Is that even remotely possible in traditional employment? It is not. But if you create an asset that is paying out recurring income every single month, regardless of your efforts, you can take a 3-month holiday because DuePoint will pay you every single month while you've got your toes in the sand. That is why we work towards this, right? I said after 5 years, possibly. Can we work 5 years to get to that, to liberate ourselves to such an extent where we don't have to depend on traditional employment, we can do what we want? No traffic. Ooh, I'd love not to have traffic in the morning. I'd die in the traffic. An hour in traffic this way, hour in traffic that way. What a waste of time, right? If you're running your own business, you can dictate your own time. So that's what a channel of distribution looks like. This is what we're going to be building at DuePoint. This is my disclaimer slide. So this is a quick warning. It is a very legitimate fear to have arrived to this presentation thinking, it's another one of these businesses. I've been dragged to another one of these businesses. We are not one of those businesses. We're an insurance company that has been working in the financial space in South Africa for 70 years. We are listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange. We are regulated by the Financial Services Board. And I promise you, we've probably invested more money into this business than any other network marketing business has ever invested into South Africa. Right? So I've got more to lose. In other words, it is in my interest to see everyone in this room successful and profitable, because that's the only way this business can be successful and profitable. The mandate of the staff at DuePoint is to support every single one of you to see you become profitable and successful in this business. We are here to support you in this business. So I hope I've allayed your fear of thinking, well, this is another one of those businesses. It isn't. At the same time, Brendan and myself will never romanticize the notion of entrepreneurship. You see the picture of the ballerina? When we look at successful entrepreneurs, we see this, right? You go to the State Theatre, you go look at the ballerinas there. They've got the beautiful ballet pump wrapped around their foot, and they're dancing around on the ballet stage. And you think, oh, it's so beautiful. We look at entrepreneurship like that. You see a successful entrepreneur, they've got a nice car, they dress nicely, nice house. The dog is even good looking that they got at home. Right? And you think, oh, they must have been lucky, because that's all you see. You see the veneer of successful entrepreneurship. But if you strip the veneer away, if you take the ballet pump off, that's what entrepreneurship looks like. Blood, sweat, and tears. I don't know what else to tell you. So I'm going to be laying everything out on this table in front of everyone this morning. This is what is on offer here at DuePoint. And I'm going to ask you very shortly, your decision this morning is going to be whether you're willing to work for it. There's no way around it. A get-rich-quick scheme will tell you that it's easy and you can be rich quickly. That's the narrative of get-rich-quick schemes, right? Because they want your money. It's like a smash and grab. They have expensive starter kits. They've got expensive joining fees because they know after that you're not going to be around. We're not one of those businesses. It's an entrepreneurial opportunity. You need to have that work ethic in you to grab what's on the table. Right? So that's our warning slide. So everyone can say, okay, we know what's going on here. We have got 3 products. So like any other financial services business, we've got our financial products. We've got 3 of them, as I said. The benefit of all of these products is financial in nature. So you can choose one or all 3 products. That's completely up to you. This is a personal decision that you'll make with regards to the product that you're going to take out. Our first product is called Access Wealth. It is an investment product. So for 324 Rand a month, 100 Rand will be invested in your name into a tax-free investment fund every single month. Right? And this is a no-notice investment. This is for Sanlam. We're not affiliated to Sanlam. We just house the investment at Sanlam, which is the biggest investment house in the country. The 100 Rand goes in there every month and there's no notice. It means you can draw that investment out at any time. You phone client service, takes them about 4 or 5 days to do the transaction, but you draw that money out at any stage. On top of that, we give you a little bit of a personal accident cover to the value of 120,000 Rand. So if you have this investment, that's 100 Rand every month, you will also have insurance. That means if you're killed in a car accident, we'll pay out your beneficiaries 120,000 Rand plus whatever's in the investment. Right? You can push the contribution from 100 Rand up to 2,500 Rand a month. But we start at 100 Rand with no change to the administration fee. So this is our investment product, Access Wealth. The second product is called Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is strictly insurance. This is only insurance, no investment. It's 299 Rand a month, but this time you get 1.2 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. Now note I say personal accident cover. You might be wondering now, what's he talking about, personal accident cover? It is not funeral cover. It is not fully comprehensive life insurance. So now you might be thinking, well, that's not a great thing. It is a great thing because this product becomes accessible to every single person over the age of 18. I can offer this insurance product to anyone over the age of 18, regardless of your age. You can be 70 years old, you can be diabetic, you can have heart conditions. It's still $299. You still get 1.2 million Rands worth of cover. Has anyone tried to get life insurance over the age of 60? Right? Everybody's premium differs. Because I want to take urine tests, I want to take blood tests, I'm going to send the nurse to your office. I want you to fill out the questionnaire that tells me every time you've seen a doctor in the last 20 years. And when I get all that information, I build up a profile, a risk profile of you, and then I tell you what your premium is. This product, we don't do that. It's the same price for everybody. It becomes accessible to everyone. So that's the insurance product. Wealth Points is our third product. It is $299 a month too. But this product aims to save you money on the money that you're spending every month anyway. So if you look at your list, your cost of living list, I bet you spend money at least one of those companies that we've partnered with. See the list of companies there? We've partnered with them. They've arranged to give discounts to all our WealthPoints members. Always on Wi-Fi data, for example. If you want a gig of data from them, that costs 100 Rand, but through WealthPoints, it only costs you 37 Rand. Right? So we've got retailers, we've got online retailers, groceries, we've got data, we've got car manufacturers, we've got hotels, restaurants, beauty, spas, everything is covered in here. And we are always adding new partners to this business. The most recent one is that one at the bottom, Jaguar Land Rover Sandton. Who's in line to buy a Range Rover soon? Okay, there's a few of you. So you're going to go to Jaguar Land Rover Sandton. You're guaranteed to get the best price in the country and the best service. And this is what the WealthPoints Partner Program is all about, right? For immediate benefit, it's a wonderful product to have. If you have any questions around the products, come speak to me afterwards. So what differentiates us from other businesses like typical insurance companies? Typical insurance companies spend a lot of money on advertising and marketing, right? Because we are subject to all that advertising and marketing. You turn on the TV, you see the ads. You turn on the radio, you hear the ads, right? You drive down the road, you see all the billboards on the side of the road. DuePoint, we don't spend a cent on marketing and advertising. You won't see a DuePoint logo outside of this building. Why do we do that? So that we can pay our wealth engineers. Instead of paying SABC and DSTV and the newspapers and the billboard companies, we take that portion of our budget and we pay it to our wealth engineers, because our wealth engineers are doing the job of growing DuePoint. And so we don't have to spend the billions that the insurance industry spends every single year on marketing and advertising. We take that portion of our budget, we pay it to wealth engineers in the form of the returns and the rewards program. So let's talk about how you earn as a wealth engineer. There's two ways to earn. One is through the returns program, and one is through the rewards program. The returns program is the recurring income. This is where we get excited. This is the money that we make every single month, the returns program. So the returns program works like this. We pay a base return fee of 27.50 Rand for every product that you have in your channel. Remember our channel distribution slide with all the dots on the slide? You're getting paid 27.50 Rand for every single dot you see on the screen every single month, right? But it's dependent on where the product lies. So here's the table. The people that you introduced personally. Remember the first 5 people you brought into the business? Those people, that product lies on your first point. On your first point, we actually pay you 55 Rand for every product, every month going forward. On your second point, as your channel starts to grow, again, we pay you 55 Rand. And your channel grows some more. To the third point, you see the multiplier starts to drop the further the product gets away from you. All the way down to the 8th point, you're earning 1.10 Rand for every product, every single month, but we don't stop you there. That's why we've got a little plus over here, because from point 8 onwards, in theory into infinity, we will keep paying you that 4% of the 27.50 Rand. We don't limit you on how big your channel can get in this business. There are no year modes, nothing changes in this remuneration plan, nothing. From point 8, you can keep earning as large as your channel gets. In 24 months, we've got wealth engineers already on point 30 in their businesses. There is no limitation on how much money you can earn here at DuePoint. The onus always falls on your shoulders. You want a bigger channel? It is up to you to build a bigger channel. The next question we often get is, well, how much do people earn in this business? If I start over time, how soon can I be making a certain amount of money? So we built this projection over the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, it tells you, based on an assumption, how much you could be earning here at DuePoint. The assumption is that in your first month, you can bring 3 people into DuePoint. And every month thereafter, you only have to bring in 2. So we're here in April, you bring 3 people in April. In May, you bring 2. June 2, July 2, August 2. You keep bringing 2 into perpetuity. We call it the 3+2 growth model. If you can follow that activity, you can expect to be earning 2,500 Rand after 6 months. Now you're thinking, I should have gone to the get-rich-quick scheme presentation. Right? Who's disappointed by 2,500 Rand after 6 months of work? Just frown at me. You don't have to put your hand up, just frown. Right? Oh, so I had a very similar reaction. When the accountants came up with a projection and they showed it to me, and at 6 months I saw their 2,500 rand, I said, oh, that's not a lot of money. 6 months of work. Who's going to join DuePoint if they have to work for 6 months before they get to 2,500 rand a month? But what it led me to believe, especially after giving the presentation after a year or so and working with a lot of the wealth engineers, is that we make the mistake, and it's a mistake I make all the time, is I think like a consumer on a daily basis. Imagine this morning was your lucky morning. I felt like Oprah, and I put 2,500 rand under everyone's seat today, and then I could jump around the stage. Everybody's getting 2,500 rand, right? How long would that 2,500 rand last? Everyone's laughing. Maybe by lunchtime. That's how consumers think. If I put money in your hand, we initially give the value of that money the spending value that it has, right? So you say 2,500 rand, you go, okay, maybe one nice big lunch with the family, or maybe a week's groceries, or whatever it is. But if you're trying to create wealth, if your aspiration is to get rid of debt as quickly as possible and to create wealth, you have to think about money differently. You have to think about how money can work for you, right? Not against you. So I've illustrated it for you here, because here we have an example of someone with R1 million in debt. They've got R1 million bond with the bank. Right, so they've got a property, they didn't have the money, the bank gave them the money, and they agreed to pay back the bank for 20 years. On R1 million at prime plus 2, you're paying back the bank 11,500 rand a month for 20 years before you become a homeowner. So I'm 40, right? I will finish paying that house off when I'm 60. Just before I retire, thank goodness, because your income ends when you retire, right? So I get in there just at the nick of time. But at 40, I joined DuePoint, and 6 months later, with some success, I'm earning this little 2,500 rand. But I listened to Rob, he says, pay your debt off. Don't buy things, pay your debt off faster. So I decided, okay, I'll put the 2,500 rand as an additional payment into my bond, right? So I'm only putting, what, 20% extra into my bond payment? The result of that is that you will reduce your bond term by nearly 50%. 20% extra results in paying your bond off nearly 50% less time. I will be 51 when I pay my house off instead of 60. Do you know how much money this saves you in payments to the bank? This is real cash I'm talking about. This is not just make-believe theory. You put an extra 20% into your bond in this example, you'll save yourself nearly 1 million rand in payments. At 12 months, you're earning in excess of 100,000 rand in annual recurring income. Who would like a 100,000 rand check every year as a bonus from DuePoint? Imagine coming to the office. At the end of the year, you've done work, you're bringing in 2 people every month, and at the end of the year, Christmas, you come to the head office and we write you a 100,000 rand check to take home for Christmas every year. Because it's recurring income. Every year, you get that. Right? That's 12 months away. 3 plus 2. You keep going, at month 24, you're earning nearly 30,000 a month. So how about a 360,000 rand check every year? Now we're starting to get bigger and bigger, man. Now everyone's like, okay, this sounds like a get-rich-quick scheme. That's good. 36 months, we had nearly 50,000 rand a month. Do you see how quickly it accelerates? It accelerates because of the leverage and the duplication that exists in your channel. Yeah, we got at the 30-month mark a 5 million rand example. At 30 months, you're probably earning about 36,000 rand a month. If you're like me, you want to buy the Porsche. Right? I can't buy the Porsche. I have to finance the Porsche. But it's going to cost me. A 2 million rand car will cost you about 35,000 rand a month to finance. You see all these people driving around in rich cars, right? But you could do a very boring thing and decide to pay a 5 million rand house off a little faster. Who's going to know you're successful if you're only paying your bond off faster? They know you're successful if you're driving the Porsche, right? So what do? Do you want your friends to see that you're successful? You can carry the bond statement in your pocket. You say, just look there, I'm paying my bond off faster. I'm very successful. Right? That's the difficulty. That's the decision we need to make on a daily basis. Do we do this boring, responsible thing of paying our debt off faster? In this case, you could pay a 5 million rand house off in less than 7 years. At the age of 47, I could pay my first house off. Remember, I pay my debt off, now I start creating wealth. I create wealth through the ownership of assets. So I decide I'm going to invest in property. I buy another 5 million rand house. And I pay that off 7 years later. Now I'm 54. I buy a third house. And I pay that off at the age of 61. I'm now retired. I go home to a house, a 5 million rand house that I paid off 14 years ago. And I'm getting rental income from those 2 other properties that I've paid off to the value of 60,000, 70,000 a month in rental income. That's passive income. What is DuePoint paying me at year 21? We have to make this boring decision 20 years before we get to enjoy something like that. You keep going. At 48 months, 4 years from today, we're nearly at 70,000 a month. That nearly doubled since month 30. You keep going. At month 65 years from today, you could be earning R1 million in annual recurring income. Where did I lose you? When did the money get too much? Right, it does. The money starts becoming just a number. You think, oh, I can't even relate to that anymore. R1 million. Imagine getting R1 million check every year just before Christmas. Think about how much more your family will love you. Let that be your motivation, right? But this is all theoretical. It is theoretical. It's academic. You can say, oh, he's just playing with numbers. You know, the number can just get bigger and bigger and bigger. It doesn't matter. But I've got wealth engineers that are doing this. Remember, this was based on an example of 3 plus 2. 2 people every single month. 1 person in 2 weeks is all you have to do. So here we got George and Bridget. They joined in December. Last month, the value of their channel was sitting at 5,500 rand a month. They're from Port Elizabeth, I'll say that. But look at the leverage. They've got 150 people in their channel, but they only brought in 18. Remember I said I was going to demonstrate leverage to you? Power duplication. They brought in 18, but their channel's sitting at 150 in size. They are not doing 3 plus 2. They're doing less than 3 plus 2. But we've already paid them 33,000 in cash. Yeah, we got Zacchaeus and Tamani. He's from Mpumalanga. He joined in June, so he's been here 8-9 months. Last month, his value of his channel was sitting at 7,500 rand. The size of his channel is 250. He only brought in 28. This is why we love leverage. We love leverage and collaboration, right? This business is all about collaboration. At your office, you're in competition with the person sitting next to you. You hear that horrible retrenchment word, suddenly you're all in competition at the office, right? That's just one of the downsides of employment. In this business, we all work together. There is no competition in this business. We're all collaborating towards a single goal. And you see here, this big number, 108,000 XP, I'll show you that. That's from our XP Rewards program. And I can see how active Zacchaeus is by looking at how much XP he's earned over the last 8 months. He's extremely active, right? Activity translates into bigger recurring income. Here's Marsha and Rulo Fari. They joined us the day we launched the division. So 6th of February 2016. The value of their channel last month was sitting at nearly 34,000 rand a month. They've got 2,500 people in their channel. They've got 17 points open. So remember we spoke about the points and you get paid on all the points. They're getting paid on 17 points in their business. They are 162 products away from us buying them a brand new car. That is days away. Days away, because while they're sleeping, their business is growing because their channel is so big. Right? So we've got 2 wealth engineers. I suspect we're going to be buying them new cars in the next couple of months. Marsha really knows what car she wants. That's how close they are. We've got thousands of wealth engineers joining our business every single month. Everyone is running a different race. We're all running at a different pace. Decide what you want. You don't have to look at these people to decide what you want. Decide what you want out of this business. And then decide how you need to get there. Right? We've got strategies that allow you to get anything out of this business, but it comes always back to activity. How many people are you willing to speak to? It'll always come back to that. So what is the decision we need to make? Remember I said to you, the decision is going to be whether you want to work for it. Not whether you want it. We all want it, right? Everyone wants it. It doesn't matter. You can ask anyone in the country, do you want it? They want it. Everyone wants it. Are you willing to work for it? Are you willing to take a segment of your life and say, I am investing this time of my week into DuePoint every single week? Can I keep myself accountable to speaking to just one person a day? Everyone needs it. You shouldn't be shy to speak to people. Our country is desperate for it, right? Financial opportunity is the number one commodity in this country. It's just about speaking to people. Getting started is very straightforward. Read our code of conduct. That's important because that's our contract with you. And then register as a wealth engineer. You can jump onto our website, www.dewpoint.net. You click on that big blue apply button. It's a simple registration form. It takes you 7 minutes and you're a wealth engineer. You can start building this business this afternoon. By lunchtime, you can start building your business. That's how quickly you can start doing this. Complete the online training. So that's just a good suggestion, is watch our online training. Right? We've gone to a lot of effort to put training together that helps you understand what this business is all about, so it empowers you when you build your channel. Set goals for yourself. You have to set a goal for yourself. It requires courage to set a goal. Did you know that? People gloss over it. They think, oh, setting a goal is what you dream about before you fall asleep at night. That's not goal setting. Goal setting is being a little bit vulnerable, having courage and going, okay, I'm going to keep myself accountable to getting to 10,000 Rand a month within 12 months. People are scared. They think, well, if I fall short of that, then I failed. But goals aren't about that. The goal is there to give you direction. Because if you get to 9,000 after 12 months, you haven't failed. You're just a lot closer to your goal. If you don't set the goal, you don't have any direction. You can't create a plan if you don't have a goal. Simple task of speaking to people. If you're not speaking to people, you're not doing the business. Right? It doesn't matter what our business looks like. If you're not speaking to people, it doesn't matter. So we speak to people as often as we can. A reminder, this Thursday, very exciting, is a wonderful opportunity for anyone who wants to build their business. Because on Thursday, we have what we call Third Degree Thursday, where we're going to have some experienced wealth engineers coming onto stage answering all those difficult questions that we have in our mind. How do you do this? What do you say when they say that? They're going to come up as a panel. They're going to answer all those questions for you. We're going to be live streaming it out to the entire country, so you can watch it from home. You can come to head office, up to you. But put this in your diaries. Thursday, 6:30 p.m. We've got merchandise, again, to empower your building a channel of distributions. For me, the most important piece of merchandise is business cards. If you sit across the table from someone proposing a business opportunity that you're involved in and you don't have business cards, your credibility is on the floor. It is, right? You have to get business cards. So please consider buying the business cards. We've got USB sticks, very convenient because all our videos on there, so you don't have to rely on the live stream or coming to head office. You can just pop the USB stick in and play one of the intro presentations. Those pins represent people earning money in our business. Once you're qualified and you're earning that minimum 165 Rand, make sure you buy that pin for yourself and wear it with pride, because it tells your channel, the people that you bring into the business, that you know what you're doing and that you're earning money and that they can do the same thing, right? Don't go ask advice from someone who doesn't have a pin. That's the lesson, right? You want to go speak to people that are wearing pins because you know they know how to make this business work. And then we've got a host of other merchandise all in the cabinet. The pricing is on the counter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's very important. That's that little camera there. It'll tell you, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, it'll tell you every time that camera is about to be turned on. Because every time that camera is turned on, it's opportunity again to build your business on a daily basis. We do presentations live like this every single day except Sundays. Right? If I can do it every single day except Sundays, anyone can. It's opportunity every single time. Download our mobile app. Even for the wealth engineers that are sitting here and the wealth engineers that are watching now, please make sure you've got this mobile app installed on your smartphone. You have to do business through the mobile app. It is so important. This is the way we communicate to you, and it is the way that you're able to see what's happening in your business. The app tells you whether you're making money while you're sleeping. Right? It shows you your success on a daily basis. So we are always doing updates to the app. The latest update on the app is this little pink circle that you see there. We call it a ping. It's a notification that tells you you've got a message. If you click on that, the menu appears. Tells you you've got one notice. You click on that little pink thing again, and this is the notice that comes up. So there are various notices we're going to be sending out. Encouragement, short little video snippets that show you how to get qualified, how to get to rank 1, how to do this. Reminders of the live stream that's about to happen. So make sure you're aware of this and that your channel's aware of it with regards to their app. We've got an incentive this month. So this month's incentive, our Wealth Quest this month, is called Young Guns. We challenge you to bring young people into your business. Is that difficult? How many people here are under the age of 30? That's wonderful. That is wonderful. I hope you appreciate that you've got time on your side. right? Us old people, the time's gone, right? We've got to work extra hard. It is wonderful to bring young people into the business, but it is also difficult because young people still think they're going to be billionaires in the next 2 years, right? It's only when you get older do you realize life is not as rosy as you think. So our challenge this month is to bring in 2 new young people. If you can bring 2 new young people under the age of 30 and help them get qualified, which means you've got to help them get 3 people of their own each, right? If you can do that in the month of April, you can choose either 5,000 Rand in cash, or you can take the smart LED TV. I think it's a 49-inch smart LED TV. It's got YouTube on that TV and everything. Or you can take the iPad. What are you going to take? The TV. Oh, everyone's different. Everyone's different. But the iPad and the TV you can use for business. The cash is going to last 3 days, right? Okay, so that's our April wealth quest called Young Guns. So be aware of that while you're building your business. Try to get those young people in and get them qualified. For our more experienced wealth engineers, our rank 4s and up, we've got another challenge called the 90-day challenge, where they have the opportunity to earn an extra 25,000 Rand on top of their recurring income. If they can bring in 5 new people in the 3 months and get them up to rank 2, which means they've got to get each of those 5 people to get 20 people in their whole channels each. If they can do that, there's 25,000 Rand waiting for them. Their recurring income will increase by 6,000 a month just doing this exercise in the next 3 months. So if you're ranked 2, 3, or 4, you need to be aware of this, and you need to do it if you can. I mean, at the end of May, you'll be earning at least 31,000 Rand extra than what you're doing today. Right? Awesome incentive to be going for. So that's our returns program. That's making money every single month. Now we're going to talk about our rewards program. We call it the XP rewards program. When you become a wealth engineer, you're going to be earning XP all the time, whether you like it or not. Right? So there are about 20 different ways to earn XP. XP stands for experience points. So you remember Zacchaeus' slide? He had 108,000 XP. That means he was earning about 10, 11, 12,000 XP every single month. When you come to presentations, if you do home presentations, if you bring guests, if you log into the app, all these things earn you XP, right? And when you start earning XP and your business starts growing, we reward you. On top of the return we're paying you every month. So if you become a wealth engineer today, you're not even on the slide, you rank 0, right? You don't start at rank 1, you start at rank 0. But the moment you have 1,000 XP, and you can do that in 2 minutes, and you've got 4 products in your qualified channel, you become rank 1. And when you become rank 1, we pay you an extra 55 Rand at the end of the month. Once off. It's not recurring, it's just 55 Rand once off. You can go buy a donut or cake or whatever, put a candle, celebrate rank 1 on your own. I'm being facetious, but what's just happened, what you might not appreciate when you get to rank 1, this little rank where you only get paid 55 Rand, is that you've just proven to yourself you can get to any level in this business. Any level. The rank 1s are doing the same thing the rank 20s are doing. A brand new person today that starts as a wealth engineer today and decides to phone a couple of people this afternoon is doing the same thing Marsha and Rulof are doing today. If you can get to rank 1, you can get to rank 20. And when you start ranking up in our rewards program, the rewards, they get bigger every single rank. 20,000 Rand check, a 50,000 Rand check. At rank 5, we give you a little USB stick that's got all our videos on, but the beauty of the stick is that it can plug into anything. It can plug into cell phones, tablets, computers, laptops, everything, right? Even those Hong Kong bananas plugs into them too. Anything. So you can show the DuePoint presentation regardless of what device is around you. At rank 7, we buy you very special business cards. These business cards cost us 12,500 Rand for 1 set to manufacture. Why are they so expensive? Because there's no ink on these business cards, no printing. We use 4 sheets of board to make 1 business card. The sides, you can see the sides and the logo are gilded in gold. You remember the Bibles in the old days? They had the gold around the edges? Same process, called gilding. No one does gilding anymore. There's one old man in Cape Town that does gilding. And when he dies, we've got a problem. Right? You put a 12,500 Rand business card on the table in front of a whole bunch of other people, I promise you they'll take note about what you're about to say. because your business card is about 50 times more expensive than theirs. And you could be sitting opposite the CEO of Anglo American. He will still look at your business card and go, wow, is that our gold you got on the business card? All right? This is all about credibility and first impressions. It is here to empower you to build your business faster and more effectively. At rank 9, our first recurring reward. All the other rewards are once-offs, but this one happens every single year. Every single year you're going to enjoy this. It's our international conference that we hold typically in December. We take you, your spouse, and your kids, business class flights to our 5-star luxury resort for 7 days, all expenses paid trip. We pick you up at your house. You just bring your passport. You leave your wallet at home. We take you to the airport. You go through the business class lounge. You climb on the business class flights. Your kids will be offered champagne and orange juice. The poor people walking in economy class are going to look at your kids like this. Small kids sitting in business class. What a waste, right? And then you're going to be on one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, at a 5-star resort. And it's not going to happen once. You're going to enjoy that every single year for the rest of your life. Your life will change. It will. And your kids will probably be more empowered by it than you can imagine. Go Google psychological effects of kids who travel internationally. You'll be amazed how it changes the perspective of children when they travel internationally. Just does something to them, right? So take a look at what we did. This is available for every single person in this room. We've had wealth engineers do it in 5 months. We've got 9 months.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sand where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
So that's rank 9. It's really around the corner. If you are willing to work every single day in this business, I think you can get to rank 9 before December. But what's important to know is that we don't reset your XP. every single day you work, whether you get to the trip by this year or not, you're going to carry on building. You will get closer to rank 9 every single month, every single day. If you don't make it this year, you can make it next year. If you don't make it next year, the following year. Just make sure that every day means that you're getting closer to rank 9, because I think it's well worth it. We've got another trip at rank 14. So ultimately, when you get to rank 14, you'll be taking 2 overseas business class trips every single year for the rest of your life. That's on offer. All right? As I said, one of the wealth engineers did it in 5 months. So we know it's certainly possible to do in a very short amount of time. At rank 11, this is the car. At rank 11, where Marsha and Rudolph are 162 products away from, we've got another wealth engineer who's extremely close to it too. That's why I say in the next couple of months we're going to be doing this twice in our parking lot, a little bit of fanfare. We spend R250,000 buying you a brand new car. And you can choose whichever car you want. 250,000 Rand will be coming in from DuePoint. No stickers on the side, no T's and C's. You don't have to give it back after 6 months. Don't have to share it with another wealth engineer. The car is yours, right? So this is rank 11. This is what our XP Rewards program looks like. It is very exciting, the XP Rewards program. But don't forget, the recurring income that we spoke about in the returns program is way more important. This is just the fun that we have, because this is more visceral. We can build community and culture through the XP Rewards program. But the returns, the recurring income that you make is always more important. You can, if you get to rank 20, you're probably going to be earning between 15 and 25,000 Rand a month. Beyond that, you can take yourself on a business class trip every month with the recurring income you start to make in this business. So always remain focused on the recurring income. This will happen almost on its own. So what are we faced with this morning? We are faced with a decision of how we want 2018 to turn out. What do you want your 2018 to look like? I want everyone in this room at the end of the year on Facebook to say 2018 was awesome. What did you put on Facebook at the end of last year? Mostly complaining, right? Right? Of course. The GDP in this country is half of what it was 8 years ago. People are suffering, man. Even if you got a salary, even a good salary, we are all going backwards. At the end of the year, I want you to Facebook business class. Look at the kids sipping champagne. No. Orange juice. Look at the beach I'm at. 2018 was awesome. The opportunity is equal for every single person in this room. I don't want you to think that because of your experience in life or where you are or where you're working for, to be a judge of what your future can be. I want you to believe that this business can empower you. This is a business that is going to be here for a very long time. I promise you that. We invite you to join us at DuePoint. You will have all the support of the staff, of the technology that we've put in place, of the other wealth engineers that are going to be collaborating with you to be a success in this business. So I invite you on this journey. I invite you to make 2018 a year that sets itself apart from any other year. I want you to look back and go, 2018 was the year that it all started. When your kids grow up only knowing what business class is, right? What a privilege that would be. So I invite you, if you have any questions, come speak to me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Remember, you can work over this weekend. If you want to build this business, you can work this afternoon. You can work on Sunday. Come to Third Degree Thursday, right? Very empowering. Tune into the live stream. Get plugged into this business. I hope you have a wonderful year. Good weekend. Thank you.